So I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and it's based on a conversation I had a couple months ago. I was talking to a friend. It was somewhat recently after I had torn the Achilles, and he wanted to ask, how do I reconcile this idea of promoting anti-fragility while also succumbing to some of the various injuries that I've had, whether it's the torn pec in the shoulder or the torn Achilles. And part of it is probably a misunderstanding about what anti-fragility actually means. Anti-fragility doesn't actually mean you're actually protecting yourself from injury. Anti-fragility is really about taking known calculated risks and knowing that you set up a system and you have an infrastructure so that when something bad does happen, that you are going to be able to endure that and actually come out of it better than you were before. Because lots of things that we do in our lives put us at risk. Exercising puts you at risk for injury, especially doing things like jiu-jitsu or lifting weights or things of that nature. But it's also about taking psychological risks in terms of making yourself emotionally vulnerable. It's also about taking financial risk and doing things like starting a business where you could be investing your life savings on the line to do something that you really believe in and can succeed. So yes, ideally, doing some of this training, doing some of this exercise will give us some degree of injury protection, but there's also a little bit of trade-off because every time that we participate in an activity, there's a non-zero risk that we are going to suffer some sort of injury. But more importantly, what anti-fragility means for me is that all the stuff that we are doing for not only our bodies, but also our minds too, is teaching ourselves and training our bodies to be in a place where if something does go wrong, that you are going to be able to get better and you're going to be able to bounce back from it. Because someone with a healthy cardiovascular system and a healthy psychological state and great aerobic fitness is probably going to have better autonomic function, and they're probably going to heal and recover from their injury better than someone doesn't have those things. And we also know that people with better muscle tone and healthy joint and alignment integrity is probably going to recover from something like a surgery a lot better. And most importantly for our patients, when we know that people kind of embrace this type of psychological framework and philosophy, that they're going to be more resistant to the effects that nocivic beliefs and catastrophization can have on health outcomes, because we know that it makes people feel bad for no great organic reason. So if anything, going through this injury and still being able to deadlift 300 pounds and hit 300 watts on a bike has only strengthened my convictions, because I've gone through this and I'm currently pain-free. It's also why I expect nothing less that once I'm fully recovered from this and I'm fully rehabbed, that I'll be able to run a 5K in 25 minutes again at this time next year.